Minister, last week a national plan to recover the small business sector and to ensure that employment is sustained was published. This plan is backed by ISME, Retail Excellence Ireland and the Restaurant Association, among others, and it recognises that SMEs account for 99.8% of active enterprises and 65% of all total employees. It also recalled that 31% of our exports are SME related, so it just goes to show how important our SMEs are to our economy. These facts clearly point to the significance of the sector for all of our communities and indeed all of our regions, families and our wider economy. One of the key points in the recovery plan was a request to ensure that improved liquidity schemes up to €6 billion are put in place, which better target small businesses. It recognises that most small businesses will require time to recover and that many will need a minimum 1-year payment holiday and 0% interest rate. It also stressed that key to all loan schemes should be the capacity to make the funds easier to access, which means government channeling liquidity to a broader group of lending partners and increasing the level of guarantees on this capital. The fact that these suggestions are coming directly from the SME sector itself highlights the value in adopting this kind of approach, and I welcome it. My own sense has been that since the start of this crisis, you have taken a strong and very pragmatic lead, and I commend you for that. You were quick to recognise the need to put in place immediate and ongoing stabilisation measures, and these include a €10,000 restart grant for micro and small businesses based on a rates and waiver rebate from 2019 and a 3-month commercial rates waiver for impacted businesses. As I understand it, however, the commercial rates waiver may be running into some difficulty due to the nature of the contractual obligations that many SMEs have in place. And I would just like you to maybe elaborate on that and maybe give suggestions as to how this could be overcome. I know that many businesses in Laois and Offaly will want to know that as soon as possible in order to plan going forward. One business that I have been in contact with in Offaly yesterday evening has very serious concerns around access to finance, and I know I have emailed you on that earlier today, Minister. It's very urgent, and I would ask that any help you can give would be given in this respect, because hundreds of jobs are on the line. Businesses also have informed me, the same business indeed informed me, that it is paying €11,000 every week in insurance costs, despite the fact that there's absolutely no business given the pandemic. And I feel that action needs to be taken in terms of the insurance companies. I just feel that there is a blatant disregard. They're the only sector in our economy that's not supporting or helping businesses in any way. In fact, they're hindering business and threatening their very survival. And I know that there was mention today in the Irish Times of a case being taken against an insurance company by a business. I just feel that their whole approach and indeed the attitude is totally unacceptable, and it's unhelpful at this time. And I'd just like to ask, Minister, have you engaged, or has the Minister for Finance engaged with the insurance companies in respect of their ill treatment of businesses? I feel also, Minister, on a different point, that some businesses at present, as I say, will need the 0% interest loan, and others will require direct financial support and grants. Every business obviously is different, and we can't employ a one-size-fits-all approach. But I'm just wondering also on the proposal in regard to the possibility of giving a 30% grant based on VAT already paid by businesses from the 2019 tax year. Is that a possibility? It won't benefit all businesses, but certainly there are bigger ones out there that employ hundreds of people that really could benefit from something like this. I know, Minister, you have emphasised also on another point that free mentoring and online training are available for SMEs, and I welcome that. But again, I would just like to say that there are genuine concerns here with respect to the focus on online retail supports. I recently highlighted some of these difficulties with respect to the COVID-19 retail online scheme, and I know in a reply to a recent PQ that I submitted, Minister, you noted that the scheme will only be open to retailers employing over 10 people, and that they will have to have had a pre-existing online presence, and that isn't possible for many businesses out there, and indeed it is a difficulty. So I'd just like you to address that.